Charlie, what I've mocked up here for you is our classic Northwest IPA recipe. So we've got pelletized Cascade hops, whole flower Cascade hops with that wonderful oily citrusy madness intact at the base of the cone there. A little bit of Pilsner malt. This is going to give us all our fermentable sugar and essentially our alcohol. Some caramel 40. About 5% of that is going to give you a nice amber color, light amber, copper color, and the rich body that you would expect from a Northwest IPA. And then a little bit of Munich malt. I like that. Gives it a touch of breadiness just to enrichen the finish. It allows you to put more hop in there without drying it out too much and becoming over bitter. So it's all about balance, these ingredients.
So this is the Pilsner malt.
Pilsner malt for fermentable sugar.
Can I try it?
Absolutely. So, you notice it starts out tasting kind of dull and starchy as the enzymes in your mouth attack those starches. It sweetens.
And it's got a nice finish to it.
Yeah. And that rich sweetness is what that sugar we're going to take and boil with hops and then ferment into beer.
So then this is really the base. This is where you're going to pull your sugars and build the beer. And then so we move to
caramel 40.
And so the caramel 40, you're looking to that for the color?
Yeah, for the body and color. It's going to give you a nice copper color. It's going to give you a little bit of sweetness to balance the bitterness. So you got to think of that seesaw. You got bitterness and sweetness. So if you got a lot of bitter, you need a little bit of sweet to bring down that bitterness perception.
Well, I'm going to try some.
I would definitely try this. A little glassy on the inside. It has a little
crunchier.
Yeah, a little crunchier. It's going to be more like Werther's Originals, craft caramels. Nice and sweet. Those flavors that you're tasting, those flavors translate directly into the beer.
So this last one is...
So the last container here is Munich malt. The Munich malt gives the beer a nice, slightly bready finish, a little bit crackery. I think it helps give it another aspect of maltiness. It isn't sweet like caramel and isn't going to be dry and cracker-like like the Pilsner malt. What you've got here, a wall of hops and a nice complement of malt. Dynamic flavor to balance that. What the IPA is known for is dryness from alcohol to showcase the hops, a little bit of caramel malt to balance that bitterness, and I like the breadiness from the Munich to give it another element to distract you from what could be overwhelmingly bitter for most folks. But as we know, once you commit to your first full pint of IPA, there's no turning back. It's now your new favorite beer.
And people are going crazy over IPAs.
It's our most popular beer, so that's why I thought this was appropriate to show you. The hops come in two different forms. You got pelletized hops. It's just basically taking this whole flower cone and hammer milling it and then pressing it into a pellet. It is a lot more homogeneous. It stores better, but there's always room for whole flower hops in beer. So we like to use about 20% whole flower hops in most of our beers.
And I was surprised that you're using both, because a lot of breweries have just gone to the pelletized, but I like that you're using both.
The beautiful part about this whole flower cone is when you break open the cone, see the yellow glands in there, see my fingers get sticky. You do that.
I got one
yeah,
right
you got
here.
it? Okay, break that open, go to your hands get sticky, and then smell that. Tell me that isn't just amazing. Citrusy, piney, floral, herbaceous. So there's no substitute for whole flower hops. We like to use just a touch of it in the finish to give the beer that wonderful, rich, juicy quality that is the Northwest IPA.
I can taste that in that beer, and that's a phenomenal way of, I think, showing how that whole process comes together. You know, and if you're interested in something like this and you're drinking a beer and you want to know how that beer is put together, a good place to go is to your homebrew shop. You can actually pull out some of the grains and they'll let you taste those grains, and you can talk to them about different beers that you may brew or somebody else is brewing if you're not interested in brewing, and you can taste those grains and then go and drink that beer, and it makes a huge impression because beer is really simple. But it's how you as the brewmaster puts it together. To me, that's the genius part. That's the part I appreciate.
The insanity, maybe.
But it's great.
The fine line between.
Yeah. No, and this. Oh my gosh, this smells phenomenal. Well, thanks for showing me that. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Picture's worth 1,000 words. So once you get a look, see the brewery, see how it functions. It really is a lifelong pursuit of the perfect pint.